Everyone wants to become a master and a high performer in the field they are working. And frankly, becoming a high performer or a master is a journey, and road to mastery and high performance is very difficult and challenging. But the person who achieves this status and this milestone, frankly, they get successful in their life. However, there is one prerequisite. There is one condition you have to fulfill even if you want to think to become a high performer and a master in the field in which you are working. And that one principle, that one factor is that you have to have an inner inclination towards the field in which you are desiring to become a master and a high performer. You might be doing a particular job, you might be running a business of your own, or you might be monetizing a skill that you have. All that matters is you can never achieve high performance and mastery in that area unless and until you feel that whatever you are doing is your life's task. And that is what inner inclination means. It should come from inside of you that yes, what I am doing is the thing that I have decided that it is my life's task, and this is what I have to do, and this is what my life's inclination is. Unless and until you don't have this sort of drive inside you, you can never become a high performer and a master in that particular field. So, what is your life's task? The answer to this question is within you. I believe that every person has answer to this question within themselves. You have that inner force that can drive you towards your field of inclination, and you can yourself decide based on your preferences and other factors what you really want to do in your life. Robert Greene, one of the finest writers in today's age in the field of influence, mastery, strategy, and human nature, have stated in his phenomenal book titled Mastery that the first move towards mastery is always inward learning of who you really are and reconnect with your innate force. Knowing it with clarity, you will find a way to the proper career path and everything will fall into place. And finally, he says, it is never too late to start this process. Every person has his or her own journey towards mastery and high performance. And it is not at all the case that this inclination is found out by every person in their childhood or in their young age. Age is never the determining factor of when you would be finding your field of inclination. It can happen anytime, at any period in your life. Just take few examples here. The famous inventor of today's age, Ray Kurzweil, who is considered to be Thomas Edison of today's age, he found out that he wanted to become an inventor when he was only 5 years old. He had found out his field of inclination when he was only a child. On the contrary, Robert Greene himself did many odd jobs, and according to one estimate that he stated in an interview, he did about 70 to 80 odd jobs in his life and then finally found his field of inclination, that was writing books. And that was the turning point in his life, the late 1990s, when he became the famous writer when he wrote 48 Laws of Power. Maria Sharapova, who was one of the finest tennis player in the history of women's tennis, she was inclined towards this sport when she was only a child. Similarly, Stephen King, the famous writer of horror genre, did many odd jobs in his life, but he eventually succeeded in his field of inclination, that was writing horror novels. I'm telling you all this because it's very common and it happens with almost all of us that we try to master a field. We try to become a high performer in an area in which we personally have no inclination. And this is where real trouble begins. You can only become a master in a field in which you have mental inclination. You can never become a master in a field which doesn't drives you, that doesn't wakes you up in the morning to work more harder and more smarter in that field. So it is very important for you to ask yourself this quality question right now related to your field in which you are working at this point of time. Sit down for 5 to 10 minutes and ask yourself, is it really the field that I really want to work, or there is something else that I want to do in my life with respect to my profession? If the answer is yes, then that's great. You have found your field of inclination. All you have to do is to excel in that field. But if the answer is no, and you think that the field in which you are currently in is not the one in which you are mentally inclined, this is the point when you have to decide what is your field of inclination. In my next video that I would be releasing this Wednesday, I would be talking about 3 to 4 ways through which you can find your field of inclination. And that video would be very important for you if you think that you are unsure about what is your field to which you are inclined to, or what you really want to do in your life. That video would definitely help you in finding out your field of inclination. So stay tuned to my channel, and I would want you to subscribe to my channel so that you may get the notification for that upcoming video. Thank you and hope to see you this Wednesday.